So today I'm gonna go through some of the homework that I gave you all, because today's class is gonna be an asynchronous class and our class following this is going to be your exam. So I just wanna make sure and get everything corrected. So from here we're gonna use this nutrition label figure 1.29 to answer these three questions. So the first part, from which components of the food does the body get the most energy? If we analyze this little nutrition label here, it tells us for every 100 grams how much kilojoules or how much energy is contained. So the amount of grams is related to the amount of energy. If we divide it, basically 1 gram is approximately 9.85 kilojoules of energy. So if we look at the component which is existent in the most amount of grams, then that should give us the most amount of calories. So from here, it's easy to see that carbohydrates is present in the largest quantity, so the most amount of energy will come from there. So your answer for this is going to be carbohydrates. The next question, how much energy in kilojoules would be in 2 slices of bread used to make a sandwich? So if 1 slice of bread is about 44 grams and we know how much kilojoules is contained in 1 slice, all we have to do is multiply that by 2. So we would get, for part B, it will be 435 multiplied by 2 for the 2 slices of bread. 5 2s are 10, 3 2s are 6, and 1 is 7, 4 2s are 8. So we are looking at 870 kilojoules. And the last part, a loaf contains 7,880 kilojoules of energy. What is the mass of the loaf of white bread? So if we know 100 grams is going to be equal to that amount of kilojoules, we can create an equation. So 985 kilojoules is equal to 100 grams. So 1 kilojoule will be equal to 100. If 100 is this, you're going to divide that by 985. So 1 kilojoule will be 100 divided by 985. So if the loaf contains 7,880 kilojoules, then that is going to be, if this is for 1 kilojoule, I simply multiply it by 7,880, and this will give me in grams the mass of the bread. I'm going to work that out now. So we'll get 100 divided by 985 multiplied by 7,880, and that is going to give me 800 grams. So 800 grams is the mass of 1 loaf of this particular white bread. So I hope the explanation makes this a little bit clearer, a little bit easier for you to look at it. Let's look at the next question. So after that, we went ahead and looked at body mass index, and you were asked to answer the questions on page 27. Right? So Calvin is 178 centimeters tall and has a mass of 91 kilograms. So if we want to find out what category of the BMI chart he is, we are going to go up and we're going to look at it. So 178 centimeters tall. So we have here 178 centimeters tall, and he is 91 kilograms. So let's see. So here's 90, here will be 91. So I'm going to line this up so that you can see it clearly. So you're just going to be following my little red line. and where they intersect, that is where he would exist on the BMI chart. Right, so he is located at this position here on the chart, so that is Kelvin. So if we look at it, he is in the overweight region. So in what category he is? He is in the overweight. Overweight category. In what range is his BMI? So you go back now and we are looking at Kelvin. What is his range of his BMI? His BMI is between 25 and 30. How much mass would he need to lose to move to the normal category? So we're going to look for the minimum amount that he needs to move. So Kelvin is here. And in order to get out of the overweight region, we will need to get Kelvin somewhere around here. That is going to be the minimum value. So we are looking at Kelvin in order to reach borderline normal, because if I go here, which is 79, you can use that as an answer. It's borderline. So you can say either 78 or 79. Right, I'm going to do a little dotted line so you are able to see. Alright, so if I leave it at 79, he is just at the edge of it. So you want to use 78. I think that will be a more accurate answer. So I'm going to use 78. Right, so if he needs to go down to 78 kilograms, how much weight does he have to lose? It's gonna be the 91 kilograms that he currently is minus 78 where he needs to be. So he needs to lose 13 pounds, right? 13 kilograms is what he needs to lose in order to move into the normal category. Angela is 174 centimeters tall. So I'm going to use pink to represent Angela. So Angel, is 174 centimeters tall, and she has a mass of 51 kilograms. So let's see where she is. So we're looking at 174. I'm just going to draw a line to represent that. And then her weight or her mass is given as 51 kilograms. So I'm going to use my ruler again. I'm going to find 51. So that's 51 here. And let's see. So we're going to use a big dot here. And this is Angel. Angel is in the underweight category. So in the underweight category, what is her range of BMI? Her range of BMI is less than 18.5. What advice would you give Angel about her eating habits and diet? right? So she will need to put on some weight, so you can tell her that she can increase the amount of carbohydrates, because they will eventually help you gain weight. So she'll need to intake more. So it's more than one thing. So you can tell her she has to raise the amount of calories that she's taking in per day. She can increase the amount of carbohydrates that she is putting into her diet, and any other suitable answer that you give will be considered. So those were the two sets of questions that you all had to do. We also went through weight loss, we went through fat or thin, and you all had this little thing to go ahead and read through. Right, so here's a summary of a survey carried out by the Caribbean Food and Nutrition Institute and the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee. Overall, the survey showed high rates of obesity throughout the island. The Health Minister, Dr. Fuad Khan, states that the study focused on children in rural areas and that it would be frightening if one examined the statistics of child obesity in urban areas. The Health Ministry and the Education Ministry together aim to change the meals distributed to pupils in the school feeding program. Dr. Khan added that tackling child obesity was a difficult task as it needed the full support of parents. Dr. Khan further said that the expanding fast food industry, and in particular the use of chemicals in these foods to make them addictive, was one of the problems. Which type of food was identified as being a problem? So if we look at it, they are saying that fast food is one of the areas that is leading to be a problem, right? So the fast food industry. So if we want to categorize that, which type of food was identified as being a problem? What type of foods are found at fast food industries? So we are typically looking at fry foods, suggest why it is likely that obesity will be even more of a problem in urban areas than rural areas. Why it will be more of a problem is because why it will be more of a problem in urban areas rather than rural areas, because fast food access is going to be more readily available in urban areas. Also in urban areas, persons will be more able to afford to purchase these things. In the rural areas, they'll have to go very far in order to reach the fast food restaurants. Some of them may be very poor, so they cannot afford to, right? So that is why more than likely you will find obesity occurring more in urban areas. Also, the lifestyle in urban areas is very much different as opposed to rural areas. In urban areas, you'll find kids playing a lot of video games. Rural areas, you more might find them playing outside, helping out their parents, things like that. Why might some parents not give the full support to tackling this problem? Right? A lot of people may not want to well, their kids may not like the type of food that is in the school feeding program. Fast foods, because of their chemical additives, and fry food in general, it's highly addictive. So parents might be opposed to it because some of their kids might want to eat the healthier, more nutritious foods, right? Any other suitable answer that you give will be considered. And how might the contents of meals provided in the school feeding program change? So they might want to introduce more vegetables, less carbohydrates, a more balanced meal, ensuring that all the nutrition factors are met. Those are some of the things that might be changed. Right, that was the last set of homework that you all had to do. So as I mentioned before, your test is going to be on everything on diet and health. So please review all of these things. Make sure you review your digestive system. Make sure you review what happens at different parts of the digestive system. Make sure you review your food test. It's very important. And to know the color changes that will indicate that we have a positive result for each of the different types of tests. You can also try to complete these questions. Alright, so what I would like you all to do, you are going to answer for me during the rest of the session. You are going to do question 1. You are going to do question 4. Just those two. So question 1 and question 4, you're gonna work those within this session, and I will post the answers for you at the end of class today. If you all have any questions, please feel free to message. I will post this as an assignment so that you can submit your answers and that you can ask any questions that you may have.